Solomon Northup is an expert player on the violin.
I was born a free man, lived with my family in New York.
Be good for your mother.
Until the day I was deceived.
To Solomon.
Kidnapped. Sold into slavery.
Well, boy, how you feel now?
My name is Solomon Northup. I'm a free man, and you have no right whatsoever to detain me.
You're no free man. You're nothing but a Georgia runaway.
Apparently I'm fast. I didn't know I was fast. You know, I mean, I've never been on anyone else's, no, seriously, I've never been on anyone else's movie set. So I don't do coverage. So, you know, I know what I want. And, well, the reason is because I grew up shooting on a Super 8 camera. So, you know, Super 8 was so expensive that what happens is that, you know, you choose what you want to shoot because, you know, it's not like you have a camera now, you spray the whole area with your camera and then fix it up in the editing room. It's more to do with selecting what you want. And that for me, going back to that time when I had a Super 8 camera, it's so expensive, I would find what I wanted eventually and then shoot it, and then that was it. So, you know, I was editing in my head already. You know, I had to, I had to be specific, you know, to what I wanted. I had to be accurate. Otherwise, there's no point. You know, otherwise, you're just sort of, you know, wasting. You know, I can't do that.
I didn't want to bring in any extra. I didn't want to carry it in an artificial way. You know, what I carried through the 35 days, I carried, but I wanted to actively try and not take that into going home, not take that into going into New Orleans and to getting to know everybody. And you know, there was a lot to do, and I think that we all wanted to try and leave as much of it as we could on the floor and just give 100% on the days, and then cut would mean cut, and we'd go home, or we'd go to dinner, or we'd go and talk, you know, whatever we wanted to do. But it was really only afterwards, you know, in a way, that I started to kind of the struggle to come out of this circumstance, you know, really happened for me as an actor. You know, the mindset and the while that it took to kind of come out of Solomon's experience.
I had conversations with Steve, but we didn't have conversations as actors, and because we had our individual conversations with Steve, and it was nice to have the mystery of not knowing what the other person was going to bring until the day. We had some brief rehearsals. I had one about less than 15-minute rehearsal with Michael before we got on set, and another about 15-minute rehearsal with Chiwetel. But really everything was we discovered in the moment with the cameras. And that was an exciting way to work because you had to, it kept you on your toes, and you had to be talking and listening in the moment in every single take. And I mean, that's the exciting thing about working with a director like Steve, that he creates that kind of environment where you can live dangerously.
Say you get in an elevator, you pass somebody in an elevator today, or the door opened and they kept going, that you are the protagonist and you're driving the narrative. But the person that you just passed in that elevator has a whole life that they were going. If that person is recreating, it says the door opens, and if they have no life there, then the whole thing falls over. Mm-hmm. So whatever you're doing, you have to build a complete life. So I have this entire fantasy life that never made it to the screen of Patsy and Platt, and I just having a wonderful time. Lots of great conversations.
This movie is 2 hours and 14 minutes long. Within that 2 hours and 14 minutes long, there are 6 incidents of violence, 6. Think about it. I mean, when you go out and see a thriller, someone's being shot in the head every 15 to 20 seconds. So this is 6 incidents of violence in this film. But I think, you know, it's just strange. I think most people, it's a subject matter, obviously, isn't it? It's to do with the recent unfortunate past of slavery. and to deal that human beings were treated in a certain way. For me, you know, the reason why I'm sitting here today is through love. And I mean it, and I mean it honestly. I mean, I'm here because some of my ancestors survived slavery, and they survived it because of love, because they wanted the best for their kids. They didn't know what would happen to their children, but they wanted the best for them. And you know, I'm here because of them. And this movie is all about love. Solomon portrays the best of us, the best of who we are as human beings, the human dignity. And I hope it's reflected in the film, because when he gets to his family at the end, it's meant to bring all of our best hopes together, and it is about love. I mean, there's nothing else to live for but love. That's it. There's nothing.